Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? What is going on? This your boy Marcus. Yes, and I am here with another podcast of A Rule of Law. The rule of law is the bedrock of a just and orderly society. I am not an attorney. I am not a paralegal. This is just my opinion and my research that I have done in order to gain some information regarding what is going on in the United States and within our country. And today we are going to dive momentarily into something that I think is going to be important to everyone who is a concerned citizen of the United States of America, and specifically to those of you who are concerned about democracy in the United States and where the country is headed. And if you feel like the country is headed towards an authoritarian dictatorship style of government, you are absolutely right. If you are concerned about your children, your grandchildren, and the future generations that are to come, you are right. You are right to feel that way. You are right to feel that there is something that is absolutely diabolical going on. So, this right here that we are going to talk about specifically today refers to what is going on in the United States. And one of the things that I do want to talk about and make mention of is what is going on in the country right now. Now, what we have that is going on right now is with this woman that you see right here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Miss Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is the Attorney General for the United States, and there are some things about her that deserve attention. And I want to kind of like go over that stuff with everybody so you can know exactly who she is, what she is doing, and you have to make your own opinion and assessment. Again, this is totally unbiased on my behalf, and it deserves our attention. So let's dive right into it. Listen, here is a clear breakdown of what has just taken place in our country under Pam Bondi, and it is regarding Attorney General Pam Bondi's decision to block the American Bar Association from vetting federal judicial nominees. Now, any of you who are aware of that process and know what happens, you understand that a federal judge is a lifetime appointment. And the American Bar Association for over 70 years has been strategically involved in the vetting process and the also the nomination process of justices around the country. So let's take a look at the risk and the key dangers because Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, sits in the highest level of legal authority, one of the highest levels of legal authority outside of the Supreme Court justices, and her word is powerful. She is a very powerful woman. So let's talk about it. Reduced transparency and Senate oversight by her telling the ABA that they are no longer allowed to participate in the process. The ABA has vetted nominees since 1953. 1953. They have provided confidential peer evaluations to inform Senate confirmations. That has been something that has gone on without fail since 1953. And without that input, the public and even senators lose access to independent assessments of nominees, of their competence, of their ethics, and their temperament. These things are very important, ladies and gentlemen. What you don't understand is that the breakdown of these limitations, the breakdown of these vetting processes is going to very, very much affect your life in America for years to come. Pam Bondi justified the move by doing what? She accused the American Bar Association of bias towards Democrats. But historical data shows that nearly 97% of nominees across administrations have been asked or actually have been rated qualified or well qualified, including during Trump's first term. Excluding the ABA shifts the vetting influence towards partisan agenda. So even when uh, President Trump in his first administration, he nominated uh, judges. They went through the bar association, and each one of the ones that he nominated were confirmed, right? And so, if you are taking away or excluding the ABA, this is going to shift the vetting influence toward partisan agendas. That's not good for either Democrats or for Republicans. It is not good for anyone when the vetting process is taken out. Now, what you have to also understand is that undermining public confidence in the judiciary is exactly what Pam Bondi has aimed to do and is doing. So the ABA put out a warning. The American Bar Association warned that this action that Attorney General Pam Bondi has put out, it is undermining the public's confidence in federal courts, in our federal court system, and it also called the move deeply disturbing. So ABA is an extremely reputable organization, extremely reputable organization. Any lawyer that is worth their salt will tell you that. Now, independent reviews help maintain trust in those lifetime judicial appointments. And without them, suspicion kind of grows that judges were selected by being loyal rather than their merit. I have one eye on her. I am very, very cautious of her. And I think that the entire United States should be on a nonpartisan level. The potential for lower judicial quality is at risk. Critics, including Senate Democrats, note that some of Trump's newer nominees, Whitney Hermendorfer, with just 10 years experience, she does not meet the traditional benchmarks. The ABA's evaluations served as a quality filter. And what they do is they excluding them that risks more unqualified or underexperienced judges gaining lifetime seats. This is incredibly dangerous. I do not care what side of the political aisle you sit on. This is extremely dangerous. Let me move on just a little bit further, just because I want you to understand what exactly this actually means. What does this actually mean? What this means with her being able to do this, right? This literally means that there is less independent review. It means that nominees can sail through the confirmation with only partisan or self serving vetting, which it is already hard to block or even question or even bring forth any types of questions when these people who are getting these nominations are being put before the public, and the Senate or the Congress has to take an opportunity to try and vet this. It's incredibly hard as it is, whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, right? But then here we're talking about more political influence, right? Especially if the DOJ, the Department of Justice, prioritizes nominees based on their ideology or their loyalty. They are not basing their nominees on fact, they're basing their nominees on ideology and loyalty. That makes for weaker credentials, and for lifetime appointments, it potentially affects ruling and judicial integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for the ride of our lives. And hopefully, under the next administration, ABA is restored, or even under this administration, ABA is included in these vetting processes. But these are things that are done to further the mission of Project 2025. And if this doesn't erode the public trust, then how the judiciary operates and judges are held accountable is at risk. is at risk. And what they've done is they have already started to really erode the confidence that people have in the judicial process by the MAGA propaganda. Pam Bondi, ladies and gentlemen, is the former Florida Attorney General. She served from 2011 until 2019, and she is the current figure in Republican political circles. She is definitely closely allied with Donald Trump. She was part of his legal defense team during his first impeachment trial, and she has become increasingly visible in right wing policy spaces. And this is not anything to do with, I make a distinction between Republicans, right wing, far right, and MAGA. The further right it goes, the more kooky it gets, right? So her recent role in the Justice Department under the Trump aligned Project 2025, which, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be breaking down Project 2025, chapter by chapter. Under this podcast, chapter by chapter, I will be breaking it down legally. But you have to understand that she is aligned with Project 2025 framework, and it is continuing to draw national scrutiny because people are starting to really read the pages, all 992 pages of it. We are going to break that down. So, Pam Bondi, who is she? Her political alignment. She's a strong conservative rather, but she is definitely a Trump loyalist. A loyalist. She is not loyal to the rule of law. She is not loyal to the law. Pam Bondi is loyal to Trump, and she is loyal to herself. And in doing so, she is going to initiate the rollout and help to initiate the fast rollout of Project 2025. For people who look the way that I look, for people who are a little bit lighter brown than me, have a different hair texture, have a non English name, come from different countries, it is going to be something of a crazy world that we live in post even when Donald Trump is dead and gone, and when Pam Bondi is dead and gone, and when I am dead and gone, there are going to be reshapings of America that will not be a wonderful place for a lot of our children and those that come after us. It took us a long time to get to where we are, and now those things are being rolled back. Is she dangerous? Under Project 2025? That is the question, and I'm going to give you my observation. Project 2025 is a strategic blueprint. It is a strategic blueprint, and it was created by the Conservative Heritage Foundation. And Trump, who lied for so long and said that he didn't know anything about it, we are just following along with this liar in chief. Trump stated he knew nothing about the Heritage Foundation, but Trump and his allies do or what they are doing under Project 25 is trying to dismantle federal bureaucracies. They consolidate executive power and they replace career civil servants with political loyalists. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Based on this context and what I know of Pam Bondi, it can be described as this: she is politically motivated, she is ideologically driven. Her actions, such as removing the ABA from judicial vetting, appear to favor partisan loyalty over merit or democratic norms. And everybody thinks that if you're saying democratic, you're talking about the Democrat Party. No, democratic is what our nation is. We vote, we vet, we research, we vote on who we want. We give people the freedom to do and be who they want to be. And that is the process that we operate under. This is the United States of America. And that is exactly what we do. Unfortunately, with Pam Bondi as the Attorney General, there are a lot of judicial things that are in jeopardy and are at risk. Let me just continue to go further because I have to go. Anti-institutional oversight, right? Pam Bondi has shown a pattern of opposing independent review. She has shown a pattern of of taking down bodies like the ABA. She favors consolidation of control within the executive branch, and she has aligned herself with authoritarian shifts. Like her participation in Project 2025. Let me tell you what that suggests based on what everything that I have researched about this woman. Her participation in Project 2025 suggests that she supports a deep restructuring of the United States governance, specifically weakening checks and balances. Now, those are things that are done in the courts. Those are things that are done in civil services. Those are regulatory agencies. Without those agencies, we are going to be in trouble. It is dangerous. She is mission focused and she is a Trump operative. In the context of 2025, she appears to be playing a tactical role because what she's doing is she's clearing the way for more partisan judicial appointments. She is clearing the way for fewer independent regulatory bodies, and she's also clearing the way for a summary of the expansion of presidential powers without traditional accountability. Trump has challenged his authority as president. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court has, in many ways and means, they have actually supported him in doing that by giving him unfettered control. That's what they have actually done. Bro, what's going on, man? What's happening with you? What's up? What's up? What's up? And the unasked question for me is, why are any Caucasian people being asked about their bro? This is something that I cannot get. And I get into arguments with some Caucasities on my show, and I point out that their last name is definitely not English. They are Italian, they are Bolsheviks, they are from all over different places. So I would imagine that they feel like they are Anglo-Saxon. However, Anglo-Saxon would be the traditional English-speaking peoples of Europe. So these are the English-speaking people who founded this country, along with the African slaves who and the Native Americans. That we came. So to your question, when I get into any type of conversation with them, bro, I do point out and I get them in silence. It's like you put a muzzle on top of their mouth. As soon as I mention to them, you are from Italy, you are from France, you are from here, you are from there, you are not the European Anglo that founded this country. You can be deported too. And I tell them I'm about to call ICE on you. Just like these people are calling ICE on all these other brown people, the Hispanic and the Latinos, and the other black people, like they're calling. We can call ICE on you too. I can have you just as easily send them to your house. Bonaducci, Pam Bondi herself. She's of immigrant parents. Her name is Italian. So here we go. Let me summarize this up because I gotta go. Pam Bondi is not merely a traditional conservative legal mind. Get this, she is a strategic actor in this entire thing. She is involved in re-engineering the rule of law to serve a political movement. And her recent actions, especially banning the ABA from judicial input, it suggests to me that she is a part of a coordinated effort to weaken institutional oversight and reshape the judiciary in their favor and in the image of Project 2025. And yes, they are arresting Americans. In this light, she can be considered dangerous to democratic norms. She is dangerous. She is dangerous to democratic norms, and she is dangerous to the judicial independence, especially if unchecked. She definitely is paid and bought. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my surmise and my summary of Attorney General Pam Bondi. She is absolutely one of the most dangerous women in the United States and possibly